Morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Naka-start na tayo dito sa variable stress.
Yes,
Until saan?
hanggang dun po sa Goodman equation.
Okay. We have discussed also the parameters of the Goodman equation. Yung kada component ng Goodman at saka Soderberg.
Hindi pa po ma'am yung components.
Okay. So again, we let us have first a recap on what is a variable stress analysis. Okay. So for the variable stress, this is when a member is subjected to a load wherein the load is applied in varying amounts. Okay. So you have their analysis with and without the stress concentration. Okay. So it is with stress concentration if the member contains a surface discontinuity, such as a hole, say a groove, or a fillet. Okay. But then we'll start first with the variable stress analysis without the stress concentration, because this would be, of course, the basic and in solving for those with the stress concentration. Right now, if you are to compare a variable stress with a simple stress, of course this would be more critical decide as compared to the simple stress. Since on a simple stress, you have a defined load, okay, which will be the basis of your design. Okay, so here we will be using what we call the mean or the average stress, and so as the alternating or the range. Okay, so for all the stresses that has been applied to the member, you are after the maximum and the minimum values only. Okay, so you will be picking up what is the maximum value, what is the minimum value. So with the loads that you apply, you compute for the stresses. Okay, so there would be corresponding minimum and maximum stress of the member. Okay, and then using the maximum and the minimum, you get the average or the mean stress. We call that your sigma m, also your tau m. Okay, so this would mean the mean or the average. So meaning the mean or the average, that would be the maximum plus the minimum divided by 2. Okay. Also, you are to determine the alternating or the range stress. So you'll have their sigma A and also tau A. Okay? So unlike this one, okay? So this would be plus, ito naman po, minus yung gagamitin natin. So that would be maximum minus the minimum divided by 2 for the alternating or the range stress. Okay? And then you have there the types of variable stresses, namely the reverse, okay, the fluctuating type, and the repeated stress, right? So each has their own properties. So when you say a reverse stress, then we say that the maximum would be equal to that of the negative minimum, right? So they are the same in value, only that one is positive and then the other one is a negative value. Okay, so if that is the case now, then we say the mean or the average would be equal to 0 and the alternating or the range is equal to the maximum. Okay, so yun po yung kanyang property. Ito po yun. Sigma m, tau m is equal to 0, and also your sigma A and tau A equal to sigma max or okay? Of as to the repeated stress naman po, it's either the maximum is 0 or the minimum is 0. Okay, whichever among these two, that would be assumed to be equal to 0. Okay, so if the minimum is 0, so we come up with your sigma m and tau m equal to sigma max over 2 or tau max over 2, which is definitely equal then po to your sigma A at saka po yung A. Okay? So parehas lang po yung value nito. Yan po ay kapag repeated. Okay? So ito din po yan. Okay? Maximum divided by 2. And then for the fluctuating stress, so this is varying. Okay? So again, you'll just get the maximum and the minimum value, and then you make use of the general equation. For sigma m, okay, sigma max plus sigma minimum over 2, same thing with tau. palitan lang po lahat natin yung sigma ng tau. Okay? And then, kapag po naman sigma max minus sigma minimum over 2, and tau A would be the maximum tau minus the minimum divided by. Okay? So, these are for the fluctuating stress. So, again, those three, we call those the types of the variable stresses. Okay? Now, when we design this variable stress, okay, members under variable stress, for our design stress, we will be using the Soderberg equation or the Goodman equation. So, hindi muna po natin gagamitin dito yung sigma u over Fs, sigma y over Fs. So, wala muna po yun. Okay? Hindi po yun yung gagamitin natin na design stress. Okay? Why? It is because this is under variable stress. So, yung pong design stress equations na yon, those are valid only for your simple stresses. Okay? So, dito po, since variable stress, then we are to simply pick which among the Soderberg or the Goodman would be used. Okay? So, ano po yung basehan natin para malaman natin kung alin sa dalawa yung gagamitin? Of course, it will be on the type of material. If it's a Soderberg po, okay, that is used for a ductile material. Okay? At kapag po naman yung Goodman, okay, the Goodman equation would be used for a brittle material under variable stresses. Okay? So, iisa lang po yung form ng dalawa. Okay? It's simply 1 over Fs equal to sigma m over sigma y plus sigma A over sigma N. Okay? And if you have there on tau, lahat lang po yan ay gagawin natin na tau, yung lahat ng sigma. Tau M over tau Y plus tau A over tau N. Okay? So this one po, this is the Soderberg. Okay? Soderberg kasi, ang ginamit po saan ay sigma Y at saka Y. Okay? Sa Goodman naman po, papalitan lang natin yung sigma Y ng tau o ng sigma U. Okay? So, sigma M over sigma U plus sigma A over sigma N. And 1 over Fs equal to tau M over tau U plus tau A over tau N. Okay? So, this is your Goodman. Okay? So, notice that doon sa dalawang equation po na yon, they differ only on the use of sigma y and sigma u. Okay? Kasi nga, they are used for different materials. Okay? A ductile material will be based on the yield and a brittle material will be based on the ultimate. That is why we are using here sigma u and tau. Okay? Para po madali natin maalala, this is what we call your MyAn. Okay, an acronym MyAn. And this one would be yung mu1. Okay, ayan po yun. MYAN. Okay, this is MUAN. Okay, so yan po yung para madali mong maintindihan or ma-recall yung equation po natin na gagamitin. Okay, so again, this would be used for ductile, this would be used for brittle. Now, saan naman po gagamitin yung sigma and saan naman po gagamitin yung tau? Okay, so the sigma form and the tau form is dependent on the type of loading. Okay, halimbawa po, tension po yan. So, yun lang force na ina-apply mo at tensile force mo pabago-bago. Okay? So, yung tension po is in a form of sigma, so we will be using this sigma. Okay? So, ito po sigma will be used for tension, compression, bending, okay? And also po yung thin wall. Yan, okay? So, yan po yung mga gamit ng sigma. At yung tau naman po is mainly for torsion and so as wind shear. Okay? So, yun po yung dalawa. So, that holds true also dito po sa Goodman equation. Okay? Again, kung ano po yung type ng stress, if it's using the sigma symbol, edi ito po equation na ito yung gagamitin. Okay? If it, naman po, torsion or shear, then tau naman po yung gagamitin. Okay? So, dun lang po yung pagpili niya. Okay? Pagpili ng atin na equation, it depends on the type of material. And pagpili po ng form doon sa particular equation, it depends on the loading naman po. Okay? Now, Let us go into details for this, ano po, yung pong nasa equations po natin. Okay? So, unahin po natin is the factor of safety. Okay? So, sa factor of safety po, the same pa rin po. Yun pa rin table 1.1 po yung ating gagamitin. Okay? If it is not given. Okay? Usually naman po, this is given or yun nga, you may refer the same table 1.1. Okay? And next, we have po sigma y, okay, and then sigma u. These are taken from our table of properties given a AISI or SA8 designation. So, hanapin lang po natin ano ba yung sigma u at sigma y values dun sa mga figures, sa mga tables po na available na ginagamit natin. Okay? For your tau y and tau u, okay, tau y and tau u, these are to be solved. Okay, again, what would be the relation? If it's tau u, how would I find value of tau u? How would I find value of tau u? Ano pong equation ang i-apply natin for the value of tau u? Anyone? You raise your hand. Yes, Carlos?
0.75 times sigma u.
Okay, correct. That would be 0.75 of sigma u. But what about tau y? How do you obtain value of tau y? Anyone? So if this is 0.75 of sigma u, how do you arrive at the value of tau y?
0.6.
Raise your hand. Kay Reyna,
0.6 omega y.
0.6 of sigma y. 0.75 of sigma u or 0.6 of sigma y for tau y. Okay? So, yun po yung gagamitin natin for sigma y, sigma u. Okay? For sigma m and tau f po, yan po yung kaninang diniscuss natin for the type of variable stresses. Okay? Lamang po, mamaya, i-ano natin, how do you arrive at sigma max, sigma minimum? Okay, alam lang po natin, when you say sigma m, it's maximum plus minimum over 2. Okay? Kapag po naman ay A, it would be maximum minus minimum divided by 2. Okay? So, dun po natin yon kunin. And i-apply din po natin yung type of variable stress. Kapag po siya ay repeated, siya ay reverse, at saka po fluctuating. Okay? So, let us have now the sigma n and the tau n values. Okay? So, how do you arrive at sigma n and tau n? Okay. So, when you say sigma n and tau n, yan. So, when you say sigma n and tau n, sigma n is the endurance strength and tau n is the endurance strength in shear. Okay? And these two, they are dependent on what we call life. Okay? So, base po sa life, okay, you determine the value of your endurance strength. Okay? So, what would be the value? So, yung life po natin, there are two cases. Okay? One is an indefinite life. Ang pangalawa naman po is a definite life. Okay? So, when you say definite, yan po yung may hangganan. Okay? Ito namang indefinite, edi yan po yung walang katipusan. Okay? So, definite, okay, katulad sa life ng tao, it is simply measured on the number of years. Okay? Kumaga may lifespan. Okay? Ano ba yung average lifespan? Okay? Halimbawa, yan. In terms of the number of years. Pero, sa materials po, hindi po siya by the number of years. Okay? Ang life po ng material is based po on the number of cycles or the number of repetitions. Halimbawa po, yun po atin na siya. Okay? So, ilang ikot ba? Ilang ikot meron? Ilang cycle ba meron? Okay? Ilang repetitions bago siya masira. Okay? Yun yung definite life. Okay? Pag sinabi naman po natin na indefinite, ibig sabihin, walang hangganan. Okay? You are not after its efficiency. Okay? Basta ini-assume natin na it will be used effectively all throughout. Okay? So, walang hangganan. So, madidefine nyo po kung siya ay definite or indefinite life basis. Depende po pag may binigay na number of cycles or number of repetitions. Okay? Pag nakita mo po dun, halimbawa nakalagay dun is design based on 10 to the 6 cycles. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, you are to design based on a definite life. Okay? Pero kung wala pong binigay na ganito, cycles or repetitions, meaning you are to design based on indefinite. Okay? So, yun po yung kukunan mo ng value ng sigma n or tau n. Okay? Now, how do you find value of the sigma n and tau n? Again, sabi ko nga, it is dependent on the life. So, ibig sabihin, depende sa dalawang ito, okay, yung equations na gagamitin natin, okay? So, see here, the set of equations for indefinite life basis, okay? So, ito po yung sa indefinite life. At ito naman yung para sa definite, okay? So, you look at the two sets of equations, okay? Indefinite and then definite. And then see ano yung pinagkaiba sa dalawa equation, okay? So, the value of the sigma n or tau n, that is dependent also on the type of loading. Pag action po, you have your set of equation, okay? You have your equation kapag bending, rotating bending, at saka po torsion. Yung tau n po ay doon lang sa torsion. Okay? For rotating bending, ibig sabihin, it's a combination of torsion and bending. Okay? Pero ang ginagamit natin doon is still sigma n. Okay? Now, so, ano po yung pinagkaiba, okay, nung sa equations ni indefinite life kay definite life? Okay? Pakitingnan nyo po. Halimbawa, parehas siyang action. Parehas siyang bending. You compare. Parehas rotating bending. You compare. Anong pinagkaiba sa equation? Kay torsion. So, anong pinagkaiba? Ano po yung nakita nyong difference sa equation po? O, halimbawa, doon na lang sa action. O, you are looking for sigma n. So, what is the difference doon sa dalawang equation po natin? O, sino po nakapansin? Anong kakaiba? Yes, Nikos?
Sigma prime po ang gamit dun sa indefinite life basis.
Okay. So, sa indefinite life nga naman po, you are using here sigma prime n. Okay? But then, doon po sa definite life, you are using sigma n1. Lahat po yan. Okay? So, kapag po indefinite life, lahat po sigma prime n. Kapag po definite, sigma n1 po. Lahat yung gagamitin. Okay? But then, lahat po nung equation natin, pare-parehas na. Ay, di ba po? You look at yung sa axial. Pag sinabi po natin axial, ito po yung tension, tsaka po compression. Okay? Yan po yung axial. That's 0.8 sigma prime n times the surface factor. Okay? So, definite life po, that's the same equation, 0.8 sigma n1 lang times the surface factor. Same thing with bending. Parehas lang po yung axial at bending na equation. Okay? Pag rotating bending po, there is an inclusion of a size factor. 0.8 sigma prime n surface factor times the size factor. Yun po yung nadagdag. But then for torsion po, which yields yung tau n po natin, yung 0.8 po papalitan natin ng 0.6. Okay? 0.6 sigma prime n surface factor times the size factor. Okay? And in case of a definite life, you will be using sigma n. Okay? So, yun lang po yung difference po nung dalawa. Okay? Nakita po ba yung difference? May tanong po ba? Okay. So, tingnan po natin yung kada equation po natin to obtain the value of your sigma n. Okay? So, it's dependent on una, the sigma prime n. Okay? So, unahin muna po natin yung sigma prime n po natin. Okay? So, where will you obtain the value of sigma prime n? Ang tawag po, pag may prime yon, sigma prime n, you call that the endurance limit. Okay? And this endurance limit, this is dependent on the type of material. Okay? So, the equations for your sigma prime n are as follows. Okay? If it's a wrought iron and BHN, the Brinell hardness number, is less than 400, then you use equation sigma prime n equal to 0.5 sigma u. But then if BHN is greater than 400, you use 0.4 of sigma u. If it's a cast steel, you use 0.4 of sigma U. For cast iron, 0.35 of sigma U. And for nodular, 0.4 of sigma U. For normalized, 0.33 of sigma U. Okay? So you have to memorize all of this. Okay? So yan po ay paano ko malalaman if it's a wrought iron, a cast steel, a cast iron, or a nodular. Okay? So given the AISI number, sa tables po natin, halimbawa po, table 87 or 88, minsan po may nakalagay before the AISI number is the particular type of material. Halimbawa, nakalagay po doon, wrought iron, tapos ito yung mga kasunod. Okay? O kaya po ay cast steel, tapos ito yung mga kasunod. Okay? So, doon mo po ma-identify kung anong klaseng material po siya. Okay? Now, paano po ma'am kung, okay, so you take note of this ha, paano po ma'am kung wala po doon yung classification ng material or yung type ng material? Wala pong nakalagay na wrought iron, wala pong nakalagay na cast steel, yan, wala po. So, sa isang buong table, wala naman po nakalagay na ganon. So, ano po yung aking magiging basehan? Okay, you may look at the BHN value if this is available. It's the Brinell hardness number. Even though it's not a wrought iron, tingnan mo pa rin yung BHN niya. If it is less than or greater than 400, and then you make use of this equation. Okay? 0.5 of sigma U for less than 400. If it's greater than 400, you use 0.4 of sigma U. Okay? So, yun yung pangalawang way. Una would be the classification. Okay? After ng classification po, you go with the BHN. Okay? Pag wala pa din, wala po ma'am classification, tapos wala din po BHN na binigay for this material. Yan po yung ating gagamitin. Okay? Pagka po ganun na yung case, okay, ang gagawin po natin is assume to use 0.4 of sigma U. Okay? Kasi kung mapapansin nyo po dito, pinakamalimit po na ginamit is the 0.4 of sigma U. Okay? So, kung wala talaga yung classification, yung VHN number, then you ought to use the 0.4 of sigma U. Maliwanag po ba yun? Nakuha pa? Yan. So, sana po ay napakinig ng lahat. Otherwise, hindi mamamali tayo pag hindi po natin yon napakinig. Okay? So, dun po natin kukunan yung sigma prime n, the endurance limit. Okay? And the next one would be the surface factor. Surface factor is seen on figure AF5. Okay, everyone, you take po your design tables, okay, and then you go to figure AF5 to obtain the surface factor. Wait lang po, open ka rin yung AF5. Okay, so you see here po, the figure AF5. Okay, so sundan lang po ito. Okay, so paano po kukunin dito yung surface factor? Okay, so ang kukunin po ay surface factor which can be taken from this figure. On the x-axis po, ang makikita po natin on the x-axis is the value of your sigma U. It's the ultimate strength. Okay, so ito po yung sigma U. So depende po. Okay, depende po sa given material. So, you find value of its sigma U here in PSI. Okay, and this is in PSI. And then, the y-axis naman po is the percentage of the endurance limit. And this percentage of endurance limit po, yan na po yung equivalent po natin sa surface factor po natin. Okay, so dito po natin kukunin yung surface factor. And then, yung natito po, okay, yun po nandito sa mga graph po sa gitna, this refers to the type of surface. Okay, it refers to the type of surface. So, yun nasa itaas po, that's the mirror polished. Ibig sabihin, yung surface mo, almost like a mirror. So, halos perfect yung kanya na finish. Okay, so the other one is ground polish. We have here machined and then so on. Okay, so, pipiliin lang po natin alin po yung given type ng surface. Okay? And then, halimbawa po, you obtain sigma U equal to 120 KSI. So, paano po siya i-read? So, 120 KSI yung sigma U. Tapos, mirror polish. Dadalhin mo dun sa mirror polish, you have the point na. Okay? You have yung point, tapos, i-read mo lang po sa y-axis, that is 100%. Therefore, the surface factor in that case is equal to 1. Okay? So, you use the decimal equivalent. Okay? 100%. So, surface factor is equal to 1. Okay? Pag hindi po given yung type ng surface, you simply assume machine. Okay? So, ito po ang assumption natin. Pag wala pong binigay na type ng surface, assume machine. Okay? So, halimbawa po, same case, sigma u is 120 KSI. And then you assume machine. Okay? So, what would then be the value? Okay? So, it's approximately equal to what? Okay? So, approximately say equal to 0.83. Okay? So, iyan po yung. So, again, it is by approximation po yung value po ng ating surface. Okay? Yan. So, ganun lang mo po gagawin, okay, yung figure 8F5 to determine the surface factor. Mapalik po tayo din sa components, okay? So, after po the surface factor, yan. Ang kasunod, meron pong equations just like the rotating, bending, and torsion, may kasunod na size factor. Okay, actual bending, wala na po after nun. Okay, pero yung pong sa rotating, bending, at saka sa torsion, meron pong size factor na kasama. Okay, so ang size factor naman po, ang gagamitin po natin, our first assumption is to use 0.85. Okay, so, yun muna po lagi ang una natin gagamitin. You use 0.85 for the size factor. Pag ginamit natin yung size factor na yon, we are anticipating that yung ating answer po, yung dimension nating makukuha, would be on a range of 0.5 up to 2 inches. Okay, kung halimbawa, you are to find the diameter. So, kailangan yung makuha ng diameter would be on a range of 0.5 up to 2 inches. Okay? Once you obtain that po, ibig sabihin, yung ginamit mo pong size factor na 0.25 ay tama. Okay? Kasi nandoon sa range na yon yung naging sagot. Okay? So, ang ano lang po doon is, what if you have your answer and it is not within the range? Alam mo, nakuha mo ay 2.5. Okay? Wala na siya sa range. So, ibig sabihin nun, mali yung size factor po na ginamit. Okay? Kaya ang gagawin mo, babalikan mo yung equation ng sigma n. Okay? Babalikan mo yung equation ng sigma n, itatama mo ngayon yung size factor. Okay? Instead of 0.85, you will be recomputing using a size factor equal to 1. Okay? So, magiging equal na po sa 1 ang ating size. Okay? At pag na-recompute mo na po yan, kung ano man yung naging answer mo, okay, that will be final po. Hindi mo na po kailangan tingnan dito sa range na to, na 0.5 to 2. Okay? Kasi nga, nakita mo ay, mali na nga yun. Okay? Kaya nga nag-recompute ka using a size factor equal to 1. Okay? So, yun po ay gagamitin lang doon sa equations natin na may involved na size factor. At alin lang po yung may involved na size factor? It is simply equal to your rotating bending load and so as with torsion. Pero yung pure axial po at saka bending, wala pong gagamitin ng size. Okay? Question? May tanong? Okay na po. So, those are our equations kapag indefinite life. Okay? So, nandun na yung sigma prime n, yung surface factor, at saka po yung size. Okay? Now, pag definite life naman, okay, again, when you say definite life, may number of cycles po na ibibigay or number of repetitions. Okay? So, kapag definite life naman po, same equations po doon sa itaas kanina, okay? Lamang po, ang gagamitin natin dito is sigma n1. Okay? Instead of sigma prime n, you will be solving or you will be using sigma n1. And saan mo po kukunin yung value ng sigma n1? Okay? Ang sigma n1 po okay, equals this value. Okay? So sigma n1 is equal to the antilog of the quantity point eight sigma prime n squared over sigma prime n minus 1/3 log of point nine sigma u over sigma prime n times log of nc. Okay? So, you have it there the first equation. Okay? So, ano po yung first equation natin? To obtain sigma n1. Okay? So, mapapansin nyo po, it is also a function of sigma prime n. So, kailangan nyo pa rin talaga na kumuha ng value ng sigma prime n to obtain your sigma n1. Okay? So, yun po kailangan. So, antilog of the quantity, log of 0.8 sigma prime n squared over sigma prime n minus 1/3 log of 0.9 sigma u over sigma prime n log of nc. Here, yung nc po natin, it refers to the number of cycles. Okay? So, ilan yung number of cycles? Isa-substitute lang po dito. Same thing with your sigma u. Okay? And sigma prime n. Okay? Pag nakuha nyo na po, yun nasa loob ng parenthesis po na yan, na-simplify nyo na po ito, tsaka mo lang po siya i-aantilog or i-shift lang. Okay? So, yun po yung procedure on how to obtain your sigma n1. Now, you have here another equation for your sigma n1. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. Okay? You look at equation 2, sigma n1 is equal to sigma prime n times the quantity 10 to the 6 over nc is the number of cycles raised to 0.09. Okay? So, you have here po yung dalawang equation. Okay? So, sabihin nyo, ang goal po natin is to obtain sigma n1. Okay? So, both are sigma n1. Then, alin po yung gagamitin natin kung sa dalawa? We will be using the second one po. Okay? Sigma n1 is equal to sigma prime n 10 to the 6 over nc raised to 0.0. Okay? Yan. So, hindi mo po matatakasan yung sigma n1 dito. Baka sabihin nyo, ay, ito na lang po, ma'am, second equation yung aking gagamitin. Okay? Kasi mas maikli. So, hindi kailangan magsulo na ganoon kahaba. Okay? So, hindi po ganoon. Ang gagawin nyo po dyan, okay, you have to solve both. Okay? You have to use both. Okay? And whichever among these two, okay, obtains a lower value, then, ibig sabihin yan po yung gagamitin. Okay? Kung alin po yung mas maliit dito sa dalawa, yun po yung gagamitin doon sa ano po natin. Okay? Doon sa equation po natin. Okay? So, that would be your sigma n1. Okay? Again, ito po ay nandun na tayo sa definite life na po ito. Question. Wala. Okay, so let us have here yung sample problem po natin. Okay? A shaft made of 4130 steel, WQT at 1100 degrees Fahrenheit, is subjected to a variable torque whose maximum value is 4165 pound-inch. For a factor of safety equal to 2, determine the diameter if, letter A, the torque is reversed, the torque varies from 0 to maximum, and the torque varies from 28762 maximum. Okay, so ari po yung una, is the first type, reverse. Ari naman po is 0 yung minimum, so therefore we can say that this is repeated. Okay, and the last is you have there the variation. So ito naman po yung fluctuating type. Okay, so for the given, okay, you are given there the maximum torque. So this would be T maximum. Okay, factor of safety. Okay, that is equal to 2 and that is given, correct? We have ISI 4130 water quenching tempered at 1100 degrees Fahrenheit. So you obtain this value. Okay, so we have there sigma U, sigma Y, and inad na din po natin yung BHN. Kasi BHN value, okay, yan po ay gagamitin natin, okay, para po malaman kung ano yung equation. Okay, na dapat gamitin. Okay, so yeah, so you have here the values. And then factor of safety is equal to 2, and that is given. Ito po yung sinasabi ko, dun sa design stress natin, hindi mo na ngayon gagamitin yung usual design stress, but instead, you will be using the Soderberg or the Goodman. Okay, so ano nakita natin? Ano sabing condition? It's a variable stress. Okay, so how do you know it's a variable stress? Yan, nakalagay na naman po doon na variable torque, subjected to a variable torque. Okay, sunod, you have their ductile. Okay, ductile kasi, ano yan? We have 4130 steel. Okay, so it's a ductile material. And then you have their torsion since it is subjected to a torque. Okay, so you have there the torsion value. Okay, now, so doon sa design stress po, pipili lang po tayo between a Soderberg or a Goodman equation. Okay, so in this case po, we will be using the Soderberg. Okay, so why Soderberg? Meron po na po nakalagay doon na torque, okay? And then Soderberg kasi po siya ay ductile. Okay? So, you have here now the equation for the Soderberg. 1 over Fs equal to tau m over tau y plus tau a over tau n. So, ano po yung may an. Okay? So, that would be the equation. This would be your working equation, your Soderberg. Okay? Tapos, isa-isahin mo na lang po yung bawat component. Huwag mo na po agad na isa-substitute at isa-isa mo doon inilalagay. Okay? So, hindi po. Ang gawin nyo po, bawat component ay isolve nyo muna. Okay? So, for tau y, that is simply equal to 0.6 of sigma y. So, given sigma y from table, it's 114 KSI. Kindly check nyo po ito ha. 0.6 of sigma y will yield 68.4 KSI. Okay, so ari po yung tau y. Okay, so hanapin mo naman yung tatlong natitira. Okay, yung tatlong natitira. Yung tau m po, okay, yung tau m po would be equal to maximum plus minimum over 2. Ano namang tau A, that would be maximum minus minimum divided by 2. Okay? And then your tau N. So, doon niyo po sa problem, mapansin niyo, walang binigay na number of cycles or number of repetitions. So, it's an indicator that you are to design based on the indefinite life. Okay? So, based on indefinite life, you have the equation for tau N. So, tau n is equal to 0.6 of sigma prime n, surface factor times the size factor. Okay? So, ang ginagamit is sigma prime n. Okay? And what is then the value of your sigma prime n? Okay? For the sigma prime n, we have there, pakitingnan nyo po sa table, okay? Hanapin nyo muna yung given material na 4130 steel, WQT at 1100 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? O, tingnan nyo kung ano po classification. Meron po yung 4130. Okay? So, it is not under any classification. That is why you are basing your answer on the BHN value, or you are to base the equation of sigma prime n based on the BHN. Okay, and since this is less than 400, so you will be using 0.5 of sigma u. Okay, so kari po yun. So 0.5 of sigma u for your sigma prime n. Since the BHN value is less than 400. So we have here 0.5 and BHN is 127. So sigma prime n, okay, is 63.5. Okay? And then after that, po, okay, ari pa lang po yung meron tayo, sigma prime n, hanapin mo po is the surface factor and the size factor. Okay? For the surface factor, you will be using your figure AF7. Okay? So how do you obtain po the value of the uh, figure natin po? Okay? So we have here po yung surface factor natin. So walang binanggit as to the type of surface, so you assume machine. Okay? So hanapin po ano ang value ng sigma u, okay? And then machine, okay? Tapos tingnan po natin yung magiging, okay? So ano po yung value ng sigma u? Okay? So ipa-plot po dito. Tapos dapat po dito sa linya ng machine. Doon nyo po siya itatapat. Tapos you take that reading. Okay? O, ano po yung sagot natin? So, from here, okay, yung surface factor po is 82 or 0.82. Okay? So, nakita po natin yun kanina doon sa table po natin. Okay? Figure AF5 particular. And then, for the size range, you use po 0.85. So, ang ina-assume po natin na makukuha nating sagot would be on a range of 0.5 up to 2 inches. Kasi ito po yung ginamit natin na size factor, 0.85. So, substituting all of those po to obtain your tau n, okay? So, 0.6 sigma prime n times the surface factor times the size factor. So, you substitute all, 0.85, 0.82, okay, 63.5, and you have there 0.6, okay? So, multiplying this, you arrive at tau n equal to 26.5557 KSI. Okay, so this is the value. Okay, so you go back to our equation. Okay, so meron na po akong tau y, meron na po akong tau n, may fs na, so yun na lang dalawa. Okay, so tau m and tau a, that would be the mean and the average. Okay, so tau m, sabi natin, ang tau m po is equal to 0 if torque is reverse, and tau a is equal to tau maximum. Okay, and then you recall here, okay, yun pong ating torsion. Ano ba yung equation natin para sa torsion? Tau equal to 16t over pi dq. Okay? So if I am using here t max, okay, so yung tipon na yun, this can be t max, kaya po ay t minimum. Okay? So if I'm using t max, then I will use tau max. Okay? Is it to 16t max over pi dq. And tau minimum is equal to 16t minimum over pi dq. Okay? So ano po yung tau max at saka yung tau minimum. So, i-apply mo po dyan yung equation po ng torsion. Right? So, kung yan po ay axial, ganun din. It would be force divided by area. Okay? Depende lang po doon sa stress natin kung maximum o minimum po yung gagamitin. Okay? So, yan. So, considering this po, hanapin mo ngayon yung tau A. Okay? So, tau m is 0 since it is reverse. Okay? And tau A is tau max. So, 16t over pi dq as the equation for yung torsion po natin. Okay? Ang tau A po, okay, ang kukunin natin is maximum and minimum value. Okay? But then sa midpoint, so property niya, tau A equal to tau maximum. Okay? So, this would be tau A equal to 16t max over pi dq. So, 16 times this divided by, this is keep it. This is kept inch, okay? 16 times 4.165 kept inch over pi dq. Okay? That will give us, okay, 21.21217 kept inch over pi dq. Okay? So, ang ginawa po lang po din sinunod lang po ito. Tau m is 0 and tau a equal to tau maximum, 16t over pi dq. Okay? And then you have to substitute all of those to the Sutherland. Okay? So you go back to the Sutherland. 1 over fs equal to tau m plus tau y plus tau a over tau n. This is my Okay? So substituting 1 over 2, tau m is 0, tau y is okay, so you have here 0 and tau y is 68.4 plus this is tau a. So po yun, over d cube divided by tau n. You have there 26.557 as the value of your tau n. Then you'll arrive at a value, okay, d equal to 1 and 1/4. Okay, this is already any standard size. Okay, 1 and 1/4. Question po? Okay na? Okay, so you have their letter B and C. Okay? Yung letter B and C, magkaiba naman ang type ng loading. Okay, B is torque varies from 0 to maximum. Okay, and then the last is torque varies from 2876 to maximum. Okay? So, you try to solve muna po. Huwag niyo muna pong tingnan yung solution dyan. Okay? You try to solve po on your own. Okay? Answers for B and C. Okay? And then later on po, siguro magtawag na lang ako kung sino ang pwede. Okay? To show their answer po on letter B and letter C. Okay? So, nabago lang po natin yung loading po dyan. Okay, so the second type po, this is under repeated stress. At yung pangatlo po, that would be for fluctuating. Okay? Okay, so try to answer po letter B and letter C. Okay, so I'll give you muna po yung time. And then later po, tawagin ko na lang kung sino yung mag-represent. Okay? So here, you look at the property kapag repeated at saka po pag sige po. Start solving muna. Again, do not look muna po dun sa illustration or solution on our lecture notes. Okay? So, mag-solve muna po tayo on our own. Naintindihan po ba yung gagawin? Hello? Okay, good. Oh, tapos na. So, saan lang po sila mag-iiba? So, for the value of yung tau n, ay hindi po yun mag-iiba as long as wala pong ibinibigay na life ng material. Okay? So, whether it's a reverse, it's repeating or repeated, the same value po ng tau n. Okay? For tau y, ganun din po. Hindi naman po yun dependent on the type of the variable stress. Okay? So, ang kailangan lang po dyan ay ang mababago lang po dyan would be your tau m and your tau a. Okay? So, sa pangalawa po, that is repeated. Since yung ano po natin is given as equal to 0, yung minimum. So, ang property po ng repeated stress, the mean or the average is equal to the maximum over 2. Okay? So, ganun din po. You solve for tau maximum. So, for tau maximum, that would be equal to 16t over pi dq. Okay? So, tau max po ang hinahanap kasi you will be using t max. Okay? So, 16t max over pi dq. Okay? And to obtain your value of tau m and tau a, that should be divided by 2. Capital I divided by 2. So, you come up with, okay, value, okay, substituting, we arrive at 1 and 1/8 of an inch. Okay? So, here po, nakita niyo po yung atin pong size factor. Okay, so doon sa una, gumamit tayo ng size factor and you look at the range po. Yung nakuha po natin is 1 and 1/4. That is within the range of 0.5 up to 2 inches. So tama. Kaya hindi tayo nag-recompute as to the value of your surface factor. Ano po? Yan. Okay? Hindi po tayo bago ng value kaya 0.85 po rin. Okay? So, 0.85 pa rin. Sa pangalawa naman, if you look at our answer, okay, 1 and 1/8, still it is within the range. So, do you use this value po? Okay? Yung pangatlo, this time it's fluctuating. So, you are to obtain the maximum and the minimum value. Okay? So, minimum is 2.876 and 4.165 for the maximum. So, we have here tau max is 16t max over pi dq. And your tau minimum is also 16t minimum lang ang gagamitin over pi dq. Okay, so you can solve, pwede pong magkahiwalay. Okay, 16t max over pi dq. So, paghiwalayin po natin. Tau max is 16t max over pi dq. So, you substitute 16 times 4.165 kip inch over pi dq. Okay, so you simplify po ito. Okay, 16 times 4.165 divided by pi. Then you will yield here po 21.211782 over dq. Okay, ano po yung tau max po natin? Okay? Likewise, yung tau minimum po, ididiretso lang po natin are. So, 16, ang T minimum is 2.876 kip inch over pi dq. Okay? So, 16 times this divide by will give us, hindi check pa, 14.6473 okay, over pi, over dq. Okay, na-divide na po yan ng pi. Equal to your tau minimum. So, siya ngayon po yung ilalagay po natin dito to obtain tau m. Maximum plus minimum over 2. So, ito plus this divide. Okay? So, what would be the value of your tau m? Okay? So, we yield here, pag pinag-add mo po yon divide 2, we yield tau m 17.9297. Okay? over dq. Do not round off the value kasi i-carry over po natin yan doon sa mga sunod. Okay? Your tau A naman, ima-minusin mo naman po yan. 21 minus 14 over dq divided by 2. Okay? So we come up with, okay? Ari po ay sinubstitute po uli. Pero pwede po, pag nakuha mo na po ito, at saka iyon, ari na po agad yung gagamitin mo. Pag minusin mo po yan. Okay? So you will yield, ito na po siya, 21 minus 14 over 2. So you yield 3.284. Okay? Over AQ. Okay? So yan po ngayon yung mga gagamitin mo. You have tau A, you have your tau M, tapos yung kanina. Okay? So you substitute that to the Sutherberg 1 over Fs equal to tau M over tau Y plus tau A over tau N. Okay? So you have here yung tau M. Kaya sabi ko kanina, wag po nyo na i-round off. And then you have here your tau A. Okay? And then this is your tau Y, and this is your tau N. You look at your answer here, you yield 0.917 and say that is equivalent to 1 inch, and that is within this range of 0.5 to 2 inches. So no need to recompute for size frame. Okay? Because it is within the range. So therefore, you use diameter equal to 1 inch. So pag dito po nakita nyo yung answer nyo dito, nag-exceed na agad ng 2 inches, saan ka po ba babalik, okay, para i-recompute po siya? Alin po yung mababago? Mababago po itong value ng tau N. Okay? Ito po yung atin na tau N. Okay? So, ito po yung mababago. So, ang gagawin mo, babalikan mo po doon sa equation ng tau. Okay? Lahat po yan. Kung anumang type ng stress yan, dito ka po babalik sa tau N. Okay? Ito po. Kasi ito yung gumamit ka ng size factor na 0.85. Okay? That you are anticipating that your answer will be on the range of 0.5 up to 2 inches. Okay? Kaya babalik ka din eh. Okay? Babalikan mo yung tau N, gagawin mo ito equal sa 1. Okay? And that would be useful. Okay? May tanong po ba? Okay? So try to check po your answer muna. Okay? If you yield the same answer. Okay na po? Hello? Question? Okay. So, ito po yung ginagamit ay kapag torsion. Okay? Yan po yung sa tau. Okay? So, sa tau N po. Pero halimbawa po, yung sa sigma. Okay? So, sa sigma po, ang ginagamit natin doon ay axial, bending, at saka po thin wall. Okay? So, ano po yung mga equations natin na gagamitin doon? Okay? So, sabi nga po natin, yung sigma M, okay, equal to sigma max plus sigma minimum divided by 2. Okay? Ulit lang po at may natawag lang. Wait lang po ha. Hello ma. Po. Okay, so to continue, okay? So again, kapag sigma naman, okay, gagamitin po natin yan sa axial, sa bending, at saka po doon sa thin wall. Okay? So pag sinabi po natin axial, kasama po doon yung tension at saka po compression. Okay? O, halimbawa po sa axial. Okay? Ano po, tuloy ko lang. Sigma A would be maximum minus minimum divided by 2. Okay? So, kanina nakita na natin yung sa torsion. So, ang ginamit natin is the torsional equation, 16t over pi d cubed. So, actual, ano po yung gagamitin natin is the equation for sigma max and sigma minimum. So, yung sigma max po, equation po natin sa actual would be force over the area. So, ang gagamitin mo po dito would be F max over the area. Okay? And your sigma minimum would be equal to F minimum divided by the area. So, yung area po, it is dependent on yung kanyang cross-section. Kung siya po ay circular, then that would be pi d squared over 4. Kung siya naman po ay rectangular, then base times the height. Okay? So, di lang po siya magbabago. F max at F minimum. Okay? So, it's either, again, axial, tension po yan, or compression. So, yung force po doon, depende. Okay? Tapos, kapag po bending, ano po yung equation natin? So, sigma maximum, equation po ng bending is MC over I. Okay? So, ang gagamitin po din ay M max C over I. At yung sigma minimum po would be M minimum C over I. Okay? Pag po naman siya ay thin walled, tapos cylindrical. Okay? Ano po yung equation natin? Pag thin walled, sigma equal to PD over 2T. Okay? So, ang gagamitin mo ngayon, if you want sigma maximum, then you use maximum pressure. Okay? P max D sub I over 2T. Okay? And sigma minimum would be P minimum D sub I divided by T. Kung siya naman po ay spherical, ano po equation din eh? PD over 4T. So, you use P max, P minimum. Okay? Now, I would like to lang po, i-clear lang po itong sa bending. So, sabi natin kanina, sigma maximum is M max C over I and sigma minimum is M minimum C over I. Okay? Hindi po ibig sabihin ng M minimum dito is yung zero. Diga po pag tayo nagagawa ng shear and moment diagram, we have the maximum moment, tapos nakikita natin minimum value is zero. Okay? Kasi lagi siya nag-start sa zero o kaya nag-e-end sa zero. Okay? Hindi po ang minimum dito ay zero. Ano po ibig sabihin nito? M minimum. This is actually po maximum moment pa din. Okay? Di ka po sabi natin, the load varies. So, halimbawa po, ganito yung beam natin. Halimbawa po, ito yung beam natin. Simply supported beam. Meron po dito na hinge roller. Tapos, nandun na yung load natin. So, yung load natin dito, okay, nasa gitna, yun yung nababari. Halimbawa, 10 muna siya. 10 kips. Tapos, naging 5. Okay, bago naging 20. Yan, okay? So, pipiliin mo dyan yung maximum minimum. So, yun yung 5 at saka 20. Tapos, gagawa ka ng shear and moment diagram. Yung unang muna, halimbawa, okay, ang gagamitin mo yung maximum. Okay, ari po yung maximum. Ano yung maximum? F max, okay, is equal to 20 kips. So, ari po, gagamitin mo din F max equal to 20 kips. So, gagawa ka ng shear and moment diagram dito. Halimbawa po, ari po ang VD, okay, gayon, nangyari yan. Tapos, ito yung MD. Okay? Yan. So, ang nakuha mo dito, meron ka dito makukuha na M max. Yan. So, yan po ang M max dyan kasi ang ginamit mo ay F max. Okay? That's the maximum moment, okay, using F maximum. Okay, tapos gagawa ka po ng isa pa. Hindi na lang po sa kabila. Okay, gagawa ka po ng isa pa. Ang gagamitin mo ngayon ay yung minimum value. Okay, yung minimum value naman, ano yun? Ay MF minimum equal to 5 kips. Gagawa ka ulit ng shear and moment diagram. Okay, halimbawa yan, yan. Tapos, ang moment diagram. Yan. Ang tawag mo ngayon dito sa maximum moment na yon, okay, ari po ay M minimum dito. Okay? So, it's actually a maximum moment, okay, considering lang ay minimum amount of bending. Okay? Nakuha po ba? So, hindi po yan minimum. Ibig sabihin ay zero ang value. Again, it is also a maximum moment. Okay? Ang ginamit mo lang ay minimum bending load. Okay? To come up with this maximum moment. Kaya ang tawag mo sa kanya ay M minimum. Nakuha po ba? Nasundan ko yung sinabi ko. Hello? Hello po. O malabo. Yeah. Okay? Again, it's a maximum moment using the minimum bending load. Kaya dalawang shear and moment diagram po yung ginamit. Okay? So, yun po yung gagamitin natin. Okay? So, kailangan lang po ay alam mo kung anong type ng loading para mailagay mo kung anong tamang equation ang gagamitin. Okay? So, I think that's it. So, yun po yung atin na variable stress analysis without the stress concentration. Okay, so you have the different variations on the stresses, okay, and the types of the loading. Okay, so i-ano na lang po natin kung paano ba siya gagawin. Okay, so you have your other samples, okay, you take a look at other samples and again, you solve on. Okay, tingnan nyo po kung you will yield the same answer. Again, pag po gumamit tayo ng size factor, lagi mo pong babalikan yung answer mo. Okay, try to check if it is within the range. Okay, if it is within the range, no need for recomputation. But then if it is not within the range of 0.5 up to 2 inches, yun po ay magre-recompute ka using size factor equal. But then, yun po ay pag gumamit lang ng size factor. At alin lang po yung nagamit ng size factor? Yun pong torsion at saka po rotating bending lamang. Okay? Pag actual po at bending, wala pong size factor na ginagamit. So, kahit ano po yung sagot mo doon, it would be fine. Okay? Okay, I think time na po tayo. Wala na tayong oras. So, I'll have the next topic by next meeting. Okay, I'll stop the presentation now. So, kung may question pa po tayo, okay, kung sa ngayon wala pa tayong naiisip, but then sa next meeting, bigla nyo naalala, okay? So, yun, itanong. Okay? Okay, let us have attendance check na po. So, mabilis ang attendance check. Everyone, 3 to 03. Ashley, patuyin ang. Okay, everyone, please. Pwede ikaw, Ashley, or si Reyna na?
Okay na po.
Okay, thank you. Sige po. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you.